Welcome back to the shop for another round of Saturday Night Special, and I think this week is going to be pretty special for you. So we had our visitor, Mr. Pete, also known as Tubal Cain or Lyle Peterson, and he came by and visited me last weekend, and it was an awesome visit. It was really special for me getting to meet Mr. Pete in person, somebody that I've watched videos for a good 4 years, and I've seen him a couple times in his videos, but not much. And somebody that I think many of us look up to as a mentor on YouTube. One of the guys that was at the forefront of putting machining content there on YouTube. And I think most of us that's watching me probably watched Mr. Pete, and if you haven't, please go check his channel out. But he came by this past weekend. He was down here on vacation, and he came by the shop and got to visit me and hang out, and it was great. He spent over 3 hours here, and we got to just kind of sit down and talk and get to know each other and just talk shop, talk about each other's lives. You know, it was just awesome. So again, that was just really special for me to be able to spend that time with Mr. Pete and talk to him face to face and in person. And he did take some video on his end, so if you watch his channel, be on the lookout for some video content there. We went through a couple of the toolboxes. He was, you know, interested in the kind of stuff that I have around here, so we showed him a few tools and talked shop. So again, that was really special. I really enjoyed that visit. So Mr. Pete, thank you so much for coming down here and visiting, and I hope you had a good time on the Gulf Coast, and hope you enjoyed your visits out here on the beach. All right, so we got that coming up, and I've got some, after our visit with Mr. Pete, I got a little bit of thread chasing footage there that I'm going to show you. I've had a lot of guys comment, like on this past video that I did showing the hydraulic nut. I have a lot of guys wanting to see me, or for me to show how to line up a thread, how to chase a thread in a lathe. So I'd like to bring some more of that to you and show you my little tricks and techniques that I use. But just this week I had a little small job that I had to do. I had to chase some thread, so I went ahead, I had the camera with me, took a little video of that, so we're going to go ahead and show that in this episode. And I've also got a little bit of a hydraulic segment there, testing a USB flow meter on the test stand there, so that'll be towards the end of the video. And lately here at work, we've been working on this, building this telescopic cylinder, and that's part of the footage that you seen last weekend, that large steel nut that I made that goes on one of the tubes for the telescopic. And I've done some more work, and you guys that follow me on Instagram and Facebook, you probably know what I'm talking about. I had to do some aluminum bronze welding and then some machining. Also had to machine some bronze packing nuts. So I've got some footage of all that stuff, so we've got some good content here to share with you. So part 2 of this week is going to be some more of that footage working on that telescopic cylinder, and I should have plenty for you the following week as well, maybe to wrap it all up. Okay, I've been busy making some videos for you, got some new content. We got another shop talk coming real soon, and we've got this past weekend I went out to the National Aviation Museum out on NAS Pensacola. Awesome place to go. I took some video there, so I got a video made for that. Look for that to be coming out here pretty soon too. So we got plenty of content coming. If I can just get plenty of time to make that into videos for you. We've been real busy at work, as I said before. Everybody's been staying late down there and putting in a lot of extra time and trying to get some of this work knocked out. So I think that's going to be about it for the updates. I just wanted to mention I got my new AVE shirt in. So yeah, I enjoy watching AVE, you know, my friend up there in Canada, and this is his new shirt. So he was kind enough to send me one down here. So thanks, AVE, I really appreciate it. Pretty cool. Can't wait to sport it around town, man. All right, guys, so we're going to go ahead and get to our visit with Mr. Pete, and I hope you guys enjoy this episode. And like I said, be sure to stay tuned. I got plenty of content coming for you. All right? All right, guys, here's the moment you've been waiting on. We've got Tubal Cain here, Mr. Pete, from Mr. Pete 222 on YouTube. Mr. Pete, it's awesome to meet you.
Hello, Adam, and hello to all of you out there. And I'm Really enjoying the day here in Pensacola.
Yeah, we've got some nice weather down here today, and Mr. Pete come down here for a few days on vacation, and he was so kindly to come over here and visit me in the shop. And we've been out here for a little bit, hanging out and getting to know each other, getting to meet each other, and just talk shop and just talk about a lot of things that we really don't know about each other, you know. And then talking about video work and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we're catching up, and I felt that I knew Adam somewhat from all of the videos I've watched. And so when I first talked to him on the phone this morning, you know, there was that familiar voice. And then when I got here at the shop, you know, the big smile and that he displays in all the videos. So he's just exactly what you would think in person that as you see him here on YouTube.
I'm glad you think so. I'm glad, and I try to tell people that this is definitely who we are whenever we're on screen. I talk to you guys just like I'm talking to Mr. Pete right now, you know, in the shop here.
Yeah, we're not actors. This is it.
No,
we don't have any makeup on.
But no,
although I need some.
No, but it's very candid and off the cuff, and I really like that. And we just been able to just talk to each other and get to know each other a little bit better, and it's been really great. And Mr. Pete has got his camera, and he's been taking a little bit of video for his channel as well. And we're probably going to walk around and maybe talk shop just a little bit more before he has to get out of here. But I wanted to ask you, though, you made a comment on my Gulf Shores video that you said where Lulu's is, you passed through there in 1966.
Right.
Is that right?
Right, on a boat.
What were you doing again?
Well, my brother and I and one other man or boy, we were in college. I think I was 21 years old or so. We were heading toward the Bahamas.
Really?
From LaSalle, Illinois, down the Illinois River and then the Mississippi and then along the Intercoastal Waterway and then out into some of the bays and so on where we were outside of the sight of land and had several breakdowns and we were young and foolish at the time. I'd never do something that dangerous again. It came very close to death many times.
Well, I'm glad that didn't happen.
But happened to take the waterway across, and of course Lulu's wasn't there, or I wasn't aware of it. But
there was probably just woods there, I would imagine, or some houses possibly.
Probably there was wooded quite a ways along the waterway there.
Yeah.
But it was good to get out of the rough water and into inland a little bit.
Yeah.
On that trip, and we had great adventure. We were gone 6 weeks.
Wow.
So.
Yeah. And so I take it that was before your teaching days?
Yes, that was that was 1 year before I got started into teaching. I was still in college.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there was a couple things that I'm just curious about that I'd like to ask you, if you don't mind. So, how did you become a machine shop teacher? Did you go to school to learn machining?
Well, yes, on both accounts. My dad, I've mentioned to my subscribers, was a machine shop teacher and my teacher when I was a junior and senior in high school. And we had a lathe in the basement, or Dad had a lathe and some equipment in the basement. Not a lot. Most of it was woodworking equipment. But so my interest was sparked as a very young boy, as was my brother's. And then ever since we were small boys, we were told you're going to college. So there wasn't any question. We went to college and became machine shop teachers until that trade fell pretty much out of favor, as it has throughout the whole country.
Is that what were you always a machine shop teacher, or did you ever work in a machine shop, a job shop?
Yes, during the time that we took that boat trip that I was just talking about, I was working in a shop in Bloomington, Illinois, where we made fishing motors, electric fishing motors under the Electropal name, and there were Sears and Wards and Pennies. Everybody was buying them, but just with a different decal and paint scheme on them. I worked there for almost 2 years, helped support me because my father died during that time when I worked there, and then the money stopped and had to fend for myself, which was a good, hard lesson, but a good lesson.
Yeah.
And then I worked at different shops over the years, but mainly as a teacher. And then at Caterpillar, I think I've told my people, for about a year after I retired from teaching.
Oh, okay. I missed a few of your videos, which I hate to say that, but I have missed a few of your videos.
You missed my videos?
I did. I missed a few
Well,
of
I've
them.
seen all of yours.
But see, I was saving up the questions to have him here in person so I could talk to him. But that's awesome. I'm glad to know a little bit more about the man behind the videos, because most of the viewers know that if they don't watch just the right video, they never get to see you, because you're typically behind the camera. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just some people's style on how they film.
Well, I was telling Adam that that evolved slowly for two reasons. One, I'm camera shy, and also I'm not very good looking, and you're probably going to agree with that. And I was self-conscious about that. Plus, the style that I used in filming was standing behind the camera,
Yeah.
rather than in front of it, and because I had no microphone, I had to be near the camera.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's how that evolved.
You know, the microphone deal is just one of those things that's evolved with my videos, and it evolved really early, learning how to create better videos. So I've always used the GoPro, which is what we're using right here, and then one of my viewers sent me that Rode video mic, and I hooked it up, and it just improved the quality of the video because the viewers can hear me better. You know, because the older GoPros don't have such good audio on them. The newer ones, the 4 and the 5, have better, but you get a good mic on you and it's even better. So that's something that I learned about myself trying to improve, is to have a mic that people can hear you better, and it just makes for a better video.
And that's something I need to do in my own videos. But you know, being on a budget, I have to watch it. Retired budget. Teacher's pension, which the state of Illinois would like to take away from us teachers. I don't know if that's in your news. The state of Illinois is pretty well broke, bankrupt. And
I sadly don't keep up with too much of the news anymore. You know, I just stay on YouTube, really.
And I've cut way back since the election. I watch very little bit of the news because it's pretty much, well, it's fake news. Is what it is. It's fake news, and a lot of lies. And
yeah, everybody gets their news from Facebook these days, man. It's like, oh, I seen it on Facebook. Well, if you've seen it on Abom's channel, it might be true because it's going to be machining.
Yeah, we deal in facts.
Yeah. Well, I really appreciate you coming down and visiting, and hopefully we can get to hang out a little bit more before you go, and maybe talk some shop, and maybe look at some tools or something. But it's been a pleasure to have you come down here and see me.
Great doing this. I'd like to get around and meet some of the other guys, but like I said, I'm about 1,000 miles from home right now, and that's.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and mention this right now to you because I know my viewers keep suggesting this. So in May, I believe it's May the 6th, John Saunders is having his open house event. That's in Zanesville, Ohio. I'll be up there for that. Several of the other guys are going to be there, so I'm sure that everybody would love to see you there. And also, we have the Barzy Bash coming in June. I believe it's June, the summer, out in California. I know that's a long ways off.
That's a long haul.
That's a long haul out there. It's a great get-together for YouTube contributors as a whole, the metalworking community. So I just want you to know that everybody would absolutely love a visit from Tubal-Cain out there at the Barzy Bash. Just so you know, I told him this.
And I've heard a lot about both of those events, and I would like to make it.
Yeah.
But it probably won't be California this year.
Yeah.
But those of you out there, be sure and watch my videos and Adam's, and there's a lot of other good video producers out there as well, and in the machine shop trade. So give all of us a whirl.
Yep, absolutely. If you look, say on like my channel, I have on my home page, there's a list on the right side, I believe, of the other guys that I'm subscribed to. So they're all great. Everybody's enjoyable, and everybody has their own personality, their own uniqueness about their filming and their work and how they present that to you. We all have our own ways of doing things.
Yeah, everybody's a little different on that.
And so if you watch his videos, Mr. Pete's videos, he's done a little bit of video as well with his camera. So there's probably going to be a little bit different interview on his side. So be sure to check out that one whenever he puts that one up.
Right. It will not be the exact same footage, but it's a similar deal here where we're chatting together, and It's
Yep.
wonderful to be here in sunny, warm Florida.
Oh yeah. Hopefully you'll get to enjoy the beach a little bit down there. And crabs. You're going to go to crabs.
I'm going to go to crabs and
Yeah.
have a big fish dinner of some kind.
Yep.
Not as big as what Adam eats. Mine will be more like.
Yeah, I get to like the fisherman's platter, and I don't think Mr. Pete could order such a big meal as I.
Or we'll split it. I'll split it with my wife.
There you go. And there's another good place out there too that we had mentioned, Peg Leg Pete's. You might check that out too if you have time. It's a pretty good spot as well.
That sounds good. I hope to get over to Lulu's too.
Yeah,
and,
go over there and check that out. Yeah. Jimmy Buffett's family, I believe it's his sister.
I think it's his sister,
Yeah.
Jimmy Buffett's sister.
I don't know if a lot of people are aware that this is sort of, this whole area is home to Jimmy Buffett, the South, and a lot of his songs were originated from areas along the Gulf Coast here, from Pensacola, Alabama, all this whole area is a lot. His songs are from him growing up as a child here.
I guess I didn't know that either.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I don't really follow his music. I mean, I hear it, but I don't really follow it. But that's what that I have learned growing up is that, like, there's one spot over there in Alabama, and this is what I've been told. It's called Pirates Cove, and it's kind of like a place that you pull up on your boat. You can get there from the road too. You pull up on your boat. They have excellent cheeseburgers there. Now, you ever heard that song "Cheeseburger in Paradise"?
Yeah, I have.
Supposedly that's where he wrote that song from, is Pirates Cove.
You're making me hungry.
Well, there's plenty of good seafood out there, so you need to go get you some fresh Gulf shrimp and some fresh fish from the Gulf out there. And do you like oysters?
I'm not too familiar with oysters. I don't think I'd want the raw ones.
Well, they do cooked as well.
Yeah.
So try if they do some steamed or some flame grilled oysters. Maybe try that. It's definitely worth a try at least one time.
Yeah.
So
That's why I'd like to get that sampler plate where they got a little bit of each.
oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're very lucky. We have a lot of good seafood down here.
Yeah.
I mean, we got the seafood market right down the road, and we can go down there and get anything we want. It's great.
Well, I'd like to see you do another video with a boil. You did a boil one time with I think it was fish or crabs, or what was that?
Shrimp.
With shrimp.
Yeah.
Yeah, that made me hungry.
Yeah.
That was good.
Well, it's I haven't done one of those in a while. I did one at Keith Rucker's shop when we had the scraping class for the guys there. But I'm ready to go down to Joe Patty's and pick up some shrimp and do another one, because man, that stuff is good.
Yeah. I do
So,
like shrimp.
I'll be sure to share that whenever I do that. Most of the guys like watching the cooking and the barbecue and that kind of stuff.
And I'll leave that up to you, because I'm pretty inept when it comes to kitchen work of any kind.
Yeah. Well, like I was telling you, I'm a one-man band around here, so I got to take care of myself. I got to do it all, including make the videos too.
Yeah. And a fine job you do. I appreciate watching your videos.
Well, I appreciate that.
And you do a good job.
Well, thank you. All right. Well, I think we're going to go ahead and sign off from here. It's been a pleasure getting to talk to you and meet you, and I'm sure the viewers are pretty excited that we got to collaborate with each other on the channels right here. So it was
And Adam is a big guy when you
just a little
compare
bit.
the two of us. So, and I wasn't surprised at that, that he is a lot bigger than me. I think I weigh about 155 pounds, and I'm a 5'8", and I probably shrunk an inch since in my old age. But
So I'll make two of you plus some then. Well,
all right.
all right, man. Well, it was great to meet you. So we're going to go ahead and sign off from here, and maybe we'll get to go have a little bit more shop talk now.
Okay.
This is a gland retainer plate for a hydraulic cylinder, and then this is a brand new gland right here. This is a factory made part, and it screws into here. And the problem that we see a lot of times with these, you can't see it now, but they get corroded, and it makes it to where you can't screw those in there. You should be able to just screw them in by hand, even though you got a tool there you can use, but they shouldn't be tight. So that's too tight. I don't have a tap this size. So what we're going to do, you can see those threads there, they look dark. They're actually full of like rust and corrosion and that kind of stuff. And there's a couple spots in there where you can see a little bit of brass rubbing as the gland is screwing in there. So what we're going to do, we're going to set this up in the lathe here. I'm going to line it up with a threading tool and just chase the threads to clean them up. I've had a lot of requests for that, so I thought this would be a good opportunity to show this. All right, first thing we're going to do is we'll get the face bumped around true. Move this around just a little bit. Wrong one. There we go. Now that build sheet in the folder tells you how many gallons it takes to fill it up. The cylinder itself, it tells you how many gallons it holds. I want to say it was around 120 something gallons. All right, I got a little sidetracked and I had to go find a beater. All right, what we got, about 2. There we go. That's less than 1 right there. So what I'm going to do to make it a little bit easier, this will screw in there most of the way, right? All right, so screw that in. Just snug it. There's your surface you can indicate. This is all machined true concentric. All right, I say that's close enough. Let's go ahead and tell you what, we need to recheck the face. I think what we're going to do is check this gland face here and see if it's running crooked on that. A little bit, see that? One hit wonder. All right, I think we're about there. Come on, man. That last little bit just kills me. All right, we're gonna leave her there. Looks Looks like she's running nice and true. So our thread pitch is 12 threads per inch. We've already verified that there with our pitch gauge. So this is a little different with setting up to chase a thread. That's what we're doing, is we're chasing. So we're going to engage the half nuts first with the tool backed away, and we're going to run it up in there to where I can just see it inside the very first or second thread or so. Stop the spindle, and then I'm going to adjust the cross slide and the compound to line up that tool in a thread there. And once I do, I'll set zeros so that I know where to come back to. I'm also going to use the digital readout as well. So our tool's away so it won't crash. I'm going to engage it, and I'm going to hit the foot brake. It's just inside there. Now, the internal is a little bit tricky, but you have to kind of lean over right here and look down. And another thing that you might want to consider for me is I just hit the E-stop, so it's not going to come on while I'm over here trying to line this thing up. Okay? So we'll go ahead and I'm going to use the cross slide. Let me move the camera a little bit because it's a little bit close for me. Alright, it's basically engaged directly in the center of a thread. I'm going to bring it back with the compound. A little too far. Alright, now I can see that tool coming in and hitting the left side of the thread as I'm looking down at it. I'm going to come into it. I just feel it touch with the cross slide. Alright, it's just touching there. I'm going to zero the cross slide. I'm also going to zero the digital readout on that axis there. Now we can use our compound. It's still set on 30. And what I can do is back it in now to where it's just right there at the full depth of the thread. I'm going to zero it out. Alright, I can see it's trying to cut a little bit. I'm going to back out, disengage, and we're going to come back out. I can see it touching there. Alright, so we backed out, we disengaged the half nuts. I'm going to run the cross slide back in. I'm not going to bring it all the way to zero though. I'm going to go to 20 thousandths shy of our zero. And we're going to go ahead and make a pass through there and see what it's trying to do. If it tries to cut real heavy, I'm going to back out of it. Alright. So it was just cutting some of the rust out of there. You can see it right there. I think I got her lined up pretty good. Now this time we'll go to 10 thousandths. It's just trying to touch a little bit right there. It's got a couple spots in there that it's trying to cut. And it got some more rust. Let's go ahead and blow this out and check our gland and see if it screws in there. Look at that. See, that's all you needed was just a little bit. going all the way through there. So it's mainly just scraping a little bit of the rust and corrosion out of the thread. So that's all we needed. Didn't take much at all. So that's one way, and it's probably a little hard to see, so I plan on coming back to this, and we'll do it some more on some other jobs. I'd like to do an external thread as well on showing how to line up a threading tool on an existing thread to chase it.
Alright, what we're showing here is a digital flow meter, and what that digital flow meter does is called a flow check, and what it does, it gives you a digital output. You plumb it in the line, your line coming in here and the line coming out here, and your flow from your pump, hydraulic pump, is running through there. So what it's doing, it's telling you over here what the pressure is, what the temperature of the oil is, what the flow out of your pump right there is, and what actual horsepower it's using. And what that does, it does the math for you and multiplies the pressure times the flow and divides it by a constant of 1714 psi. So as you increase the pressure, see the pressure going up right there as he increases the pressure, and the flow's going up because we have a pressure compensated pump. So as he increases the pressure and the system is asking for more flow, the pump comes on stroke. Go ahead and go up with pressure some more. You see the pressure going up, the flow going up, and the horsepower consumption is going up as well, plus the temperature. As you're pushing that oil at a higher pressure across an orifice, it heats up.